where best friends and next-door neighbors, Willow and Lillian, spill the tea on murder, mysteries, and other things that go bump in the night. So get your favorite teacup ready, and let's get into it. Welcome to Cruelty Podcast. This is Lillian, and with me is Merris.
Hello.
Because it's Merris Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you excited?
I'm as excited as Garfield for Monday.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I thought he hated Mondays.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Oh, Merris.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's Sunday, so that joke doesn't land.
No, it was bad.
Yeah. So, okay, first of all, this is going to be a shorter Merris Monday, but I have a personal experience with this particular thing.
Okay.
So I want to talk about it.
What is it?
Well, I'm going to talk about two stick things.
Oh.
I'm going to talk about the black stickmen cryptid.
Yeah.
And this is unknown if it's a cryptid, a tribe of indigenous people, or if it's fairies, which I guess could be counted as cryptids.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. But the stick Indians. Because these two things are kind of loosely related.
It's a sticky episode.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Well, if I had just gone with the black stick men, then we wouldn't have a full episode. And if I just went with the stick Indians, we wouldn't have a full episode.
I think it's acceptable to sometimes do two small things together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these interest me.
Okay.
Yes, both things. They're scary to me.
Yeah.
And you kind of have like a personal involvement in this as well.
Okay. Yeah, I know what they are. So, I mean, most people probably don't, though.
No, this is one of the more obscure ones, but
Yeah.
I think it's one of the scariest.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about a cryptid that I've seen. And I'm not sure if it can be classified as a cryptid, honestly. But its origins are, in fact, ancient. And I didn't know this. This strange entity was first recorded by ancient man, like scrawled onto the walls of caves. It's the Black Stick Man. And as the name suggests, it's a creature or spirit or whatever that is tall and spindly with stick-like appendages, and it's as if it's a living stick figure drawing a child made.
Right, but the head's different. It's not like a stupid circle head.
Sometimes it is.
Oh, I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a stupid circle head.
The ones that I've heard of, it's just kind of an amorphous, scary head with no features.
There's more of the accounts are like that, but I read several like eyewitness Reddit accounts where it looked exactly like a child's drawing.
That would freak me out if I saw it in real life, for sure. Yep,
It reminds me of that SpongeBob episode where his doodle of himself came to life.
You know, because like in the UFO world, they talk about like there's maybe like a parallel dimension, and it's literal dimension, like it's not third dimension, like a 2-dimensional thing. That's a weird, awful thought.
It is, but that's what we're talking about today.
Like paper 2-dimensional world.
Yes, like a 2D world. Yeah, so it has no features, no eyes, no mouth. It's all black. It moves in a herky-jerky way, and I don't know about y'all, but that's objectively terrifying.
Yep.
So most witnesses of this thing say it's human height usually, or they'll go with super duper tall.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of split 50-50 on the sightings for that, like 8 to 10 feet tall.
You know those like electric transformer things that are very scary, like when you're driving out in the rural. Ooh, it's like that.
Yes. And people have had dreams about them and encounters, both.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they may sound to you just like typical shadow people, but they ain't.
No.
We're going to talk more
I
about
feel like
it.
they're related, right?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
So, yeah, the thing I saw was on the taller end of the spectrum, probably 10 feet tall. According to people who have seen these things, they cast no shadow. They make absolutely no sound whatsoever, not even when they walk. And that just makes them worse. This is nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Their gait, as mentioned before, are sort of glitchy, if that makes sense. Like it's awkward, halting, jerky. However,
Like not fully rendered, yeah.
yeah, other witnesses have reported they glide like very fluidly and very gracefully, like they're floating, like they're not even walking.
Okay.
I don't like that either.
No.
They're described as, and I find this fascinating, and I wish I could remember better, like my encounter, because I don't remember this, but they give off a static charge, like a static electric charge in the air.
I've heard that with all kind of encounters, like UFO and what have you.
Yes, and there's a barometric pressure change. People's ears will pop.
What I do remember, and it seems pretty consistent, you haven't mentioned it, but you probably will, is that if you see it, it's abject terror. Like there's no other reaction to it.
It's weird animal fear.
Yeah, nobody ever has like a neutral or nice reaction.
They do for these, but we'll get into that.
Okay.
Like they have no vibes.
Gotcha.
Like not threatening, not good, nothing. And again, it's split down the middle. Usually the taller ones are scary, and the human-sized ones, while startling, aren't scary.
Okay.
But we'll get into that a little more. But like people also hear like a popping sound, like a breaking of a light bulb.
Okay.
Or like the popping of popcorn when they arrive. And we've experienced this firsthand.
I can't remember the exact encounter, but I feel like in our weird encounter life, I've heard of popping once before something weird happened.
Yes. I believe it was in this house too.
I don't remember the exact what thing happened exactly. It was a long time ago.
A lot of people will report that suddenly they'll be like outside and all of the hair on their body stands at attention.
Yeah.
A good few moments before they see them.
I don't like that.
No. So let's talk for a minute about kind of the mechanics of like the hair on the back of your neck standing up.
Okay.
And you will never know why sometimes, like it'll just happen out of the blue. But what's going on is your subconscious and your more animal nervous system has detected a threat. Now, it could be that you just saw something wrong or a noise kind of spooked you. And consciously it doesn't because we're logical thinking beings.
Yeah.
But your animal instincts did react to something that your conscious mind didn't notice. And that's what these things do.
Wow.
So,
okay.
like, if you're not seeing them, but you're feeling
sensing
them.
them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't. And, you know, a lot of people report they feel very benign, but I think anything that makes your literal hackles raise up like you're a scared dog is bad. And I'm going to say poo-poo on that.
Right.
Yeah, it's time to cleanse your house if you got that shit in there. They can be opaque.
Like gray? Because they're already kind of two-dimensional.
Well, they're meaning the black is not see-through.
Okay.
Like their form is not see-through.
Okay.
They do seem two-dimensional, but not always. Just very thin.
Yeah.
Because like I think some of these things, like we just don't have words for what they are because other people have said they've been gray, black, or brown.
Okay.
And
I feel like I have heard of, as weird as it sounds, brown, kind of like it's kind of gross looking.
Well, that's the encounter I had, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you're not the only one who's seen it. Like I feel like.
Oh no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I thought I was because when I first looked for it back when this happened, I couldn't find really any accounts online. I found like 2.
Yeah.
And I was surprised and then alarmed. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm nuts. But now you can find hundreds of these.
Yeah, I remember personally I read a Reddit story that kind of stuck with me.
That's the one I wanted you to tell.
Okay.
I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Well, I'm on Reddit, but I'm not very good at Reddit, so I have like no karma.
It's so funny. How long have you had the account?
9 years.
And you have like 100 karma.
I have 1,200
Oh my God, that's
karma.
terrible.
Well, I saw a post in the paranormal section, and it was this kid from Morocco, and the post had been up there for a long time, and nobody commented on it. And he lives in the desert area, he says, and he saw a row of them walking off in the far distance. And he said that he lived in a war, kind of like a region that had, seen some conflict. Yeah. I think it was Morocco, but I'm not 100% about that. It might have been Iraq or something. It was over there. and I this was a couple years ago, because like I said, I have a 9-year Reddit account. And I knew about stick people from your encounter.
Yes.
And since it was a war-torn conflict area, I commented him like that these things are usually seen in that kind of environment.
Yes, they are.
And it's possibly jinn. I don't know. But this is something that people have seen before, and he was just grateful that, I knew something and that
he didn't feel like a loon?
Right.
Yeah,
because he just saw a bunch of black stick figures because he painted a very good picture in this desert region way off in a distance walking in a row like fucking sand people.
Shit pant. That would freak me out.
Yep. And that was a very scary story. And like, it just stuck with me.
Yeah. So, in addition to the different color variations, they can be translucent, like out of focus too, like blurry. Mm-hmm. They can also look fuzzy around the edges, like they're literally drawn with a crayon.
Ugh. It's so creepy. It's like
it is.
It's like the Stranger Things kind of like dimension,
They are a Stranger Thing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like they're in the Upside Down or something.
Yeah.
Well, some people have reported to most people, and I had this experience in my encounter, is that either right before they appear or immediately after, they'll be kind of in front of them as a heat shimmer, is what it looks like.
Yes.
And I have seen this heat shimmer in other weird instances that I've had. Mm-hmm. And I definitely saw it when I saw my stick figure person.
Do you want to tell that story?
I will here in a second. Yeah. I have it in my notes when I'm going to tell it. Man, I don't know. To me, like, and remember we've talked about it in the missing 411 cases too, where people see what they think is like the Predator. If you guys have seen those movies, the Predator has like an invisibility shield. Yeah, and it kind of shimmers.
The Dr. McAfee story.
Yes. And is that the one with his wife up in
the wife was stand? In a hunting blind.
She was in a deer stand, yeah.
And she saw the predator shimmer out in the forest.
In the shape of a man.
Yes, and she had an old, I guess it's an old-fashioned camera now, where you have film that you develop. And she took 2 pictures of it, and it didn't really come out, but one picture was completely like in a different aspect ratio than the settings was on the device.
Yes.
And there was like a strange hair in the corner.
Yeah, like a weird object.
But what she physically saw was the predator shimmer.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bruce Maccabee. That was Bruce Maccabee's wife.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for remembering.
I remembered it somehow.
You remembered.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it's not a temperature thing with the heat shimmer, let's be clear. Like, the temperature in the room actually got cold when I encountered this thing instead of hot, like the heat shimmer would imply.
Yeah, well, it's very typical of ghostesses.
Yes, it is, but it wasn't a ghost, because it looked solid as shit. And a lot of people will say it's barely 3-dimensional. Mine was barely 3-dimensional. Yeah. It was really flat, but it still had 3 dimensions.
Right.
But some people will say, it doesn't, light won't hit it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not even affected by light. And I find that really strange and really interesting. Because, even a piece of paper is affected by light, you know? So, yeah. So, 2009, back when Slender Man was all the rage and the black-eyed children craze was going on, there were lists and memes featuring these things. And it was not the first account of them by any stretch, but it's like they got popular around the same time. And if you look at Slender Man, he's very stick-like.
Yeah,
he has no features.
Stick person-like, yeah, for sure.
Very much so. And so it makes me wonder if the rage around and the popularity around Slender Man didn't make sightings of these things more common, because while Slender Man might not be real, these things are.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And in the drop-off, you can see it, too. I feel like there's less viewings or...
There are definitely less sightings of both Slender Man, black-eyed children, and these things.
And less media about it, too, you know?
Yeah, because you remember kind of the stickly, thin, herky-jerky thing was popular years ago, but that's not what's popular
when the Ring
now.
Came out.
Yeah, I feel like a return to, Catholicism horror and exorcisms and demons is more popular now. And I kind of put that on Hereditary. I think it's interesting how our media seems to influence the kind of paranormal experiences people have, and we see this with UFO phenomenon as well.
Yeah.
Because if you look in the Victorian era, UFOs, of course, were wooden airships.
Yeah, like Zeppelins. Okay, yeah.
And then you get in the 50s and 60s, and they are very space age, and the old 50s way, very silver and chrome and with fins.
Now everything is interdimensional,
Now it's just weird futuristic looking stuff like the Tic Tac.
Well,
it's very 2001 to
things
me.
are very interdimensional, and people live in a different dimension because they're online all the time, right? So
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought you have theories about that. Explain what you mean to like the tea bags.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
About your theory that the internet's kind of like its own dimension.
Well, I just think it is, and like one of my thought ideas was that if you're trying to create a new consciousness like an AI, that maybe it needs like someplace else to go to dream, like in the internet, you know?
I've thought so too, and I always thought that was a really clever idea. And I do think like AIs kind of do dream right now because they hallucinate.
Right.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. But it's a like everything, even an artificial intelligence needs to dream, I guess.
To grow and have memory and all of that good stuff.
It's crazy,
and function
though,
properly.
right? And we don't even know why we dream totally, you know?
No, we don't. So, yeah. So my Stickman thing was in 2013, but we'll get to that in a second. Another interesting facet of this cryptid is that when it's seen, it almost always immediately vanishes. It seems kind of surprised to be seen.
It's like it triggers it back to wherever it came from or something.
Yes, it will appear startled and then vanish into thin air. And most report, again, a neutral feeling. They don't really feel like bad vibes or anything. And unlike other cryptids, they aren't relegated to one area. Typically, they're seen outdoors, but have been seen inside homes. And it isn't really like shadow people, though I can see where like the comparisons are drawn.
Yeah.
Liminal spaces like empty abandoned buildings,
like a basement or
basements,
an attic. Yeah. Closet.
The desert is kind of a liminal space.
The whole desert, yeah.
Because there's no people in it.
Right.
To observe it, so things are fucking weird.
Right.
It seems like they just love them in between spaces. They're seen a lot at like airports, hotels,
right,
bus stations, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are, by their very nature, liminal and transitory.
Well, my idea on that was if everything's energy and people and emotions are moving through the day in common energy areas like a kitchen or et cetera, et cetera. Well, if energy is kind of moving like water, then it would have like areas where it's pooling.
I agree, and that
would be a liminal space.
Yes, because it's
like it's just sort of collecting like the bleh energy that's passing by. You know,
I get that. That's
like
a really cool theory.
Yeah.
I that's why I wanted you to explain it and do this particular cryptid because
these are just my ideas, though. I don't know if it's true. These are just ideas I came up with.
Yeah, these things. Okay, so with shadow people, there's kind of this oppressive and malignant feeling, and they often do harm people. They will sit on them or like grab at them.
Yeah.
The stick people don't ever do that.
No,
ever.
They just always look startled and like hoo-hoo, and then run off.
Yeah, like a startled animal.
Yeah,
is how it acts. So now we're going to talk about my particular sighting.
Okay.
Excuse me. So it was 2013. It was fall, I would say November or right before Halloween. I literally can't remember. It was either in November or late October.
Yeah, I remember I was there, and I know what I did, and I missed the whole thing.
Hadn't we like were doing a writers meeting?
We were doing a writers group. I was sitting on the couch in the living room, and when you had your sighting, I was staring at the floor for some reason.
Yeah. There were other people there, but they were facing me, and I was the only one looking towards the kitchen.
Yeah.
And the way my living room was set up is that there was an entryway into the kitchen off to the left at the end of the wall. Mm-hmm. And my kitchen had very bright lights in that kitchen, if you remember. It was always very bright.
And I remember the living room was lit up. We had all the lights were on, all of it. Like,
oh, yes.
We had like 6 people over or something.
We had like lamps, so no big light. Big light bad if you're a queer autist like myself. But like...
We hate overhead lights.
Yeah. But there's enough light to see, meaning I wasn't in a low light condition.
No, it wasn't a low light situation.
No. So I see something coming out of the kitchen, and for a minute I just think it's a person. But it was too tall.
You said it went up to
completely to the ceiling.
The top of the door frame.
Yeah, it was stooped to get through it. It was even taller than that.
Yeah.
And my brain just couldn't like register what was going on. Like I just wasn't even scared because I couldn't make sense of what I was seeing.
Right.
And then it stopped, and that's when I could see it better, when it wasn't moving. Because when it was moving, I do think it was a little blurry or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
It turned its head, but its head was like the small, like small. It wasn't like human head sized or like child's head sized, but it was misshapen and lumpy.
Ugh.
And it looked like somebody had pressed their thumbs into it for its like indentions for eyes and a mouth.
That's so scary.
It was a kind of a dark brown color, and it had a very short and small rib cage, and no real hips, just kind of barely there. And it had just, the rest of it was just sticks, literally. And I can't even remember if it had feet, because I wasn't looking at its feet.
Yeah.
But it did have kind of rudimentary hands, but it only had 3 fingers, and a thumb and 2 fingers.
Yeah.
And it looked at me. I mean, I guess it doesn't have eyes.
Right.
And it just, I got bad vibes. I got super bad vibes. The air was kind of shimmering. The hairs on my arms stood up.
And it was just a second.
I'd say the sighting was 3 to 4 seconds.
Yeah.
And it vanished when it saw me.
Yeah.
And y'all...
You were so... I remember you because you were like, oh, and you had
Yeah.
to pull me aside, and you're like, I saw something.
I didn't want to tell the other people there who thought I might be normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, I almost had a seizure. It scared me so bad. Like, it was one of the most terrifying, because, y'all, its legs and arms looked like it was made of bug parts.
Wow.
Like, segmented like that.
Yeah.
And it was cockroach colored.
Wow.
It made me want to puke. It just gave me the worst feeling on the face of this earth.
Yeah, well, we don't live at that house anymore.
No, and it did please me. It looked scared. I don't know how it looked scared. It didn't really have a
Startled,
face.
probably.
It jumped, kind of, it tensed and then vanished.
They always act very spooky, those things, you know?
Kind of like coyotes act. You know what I mean?
No, because coyotes can be kind of aggressive.
Oh, not when they're by themselves.
Oh.
That's immediately what it put me in the mind of, like something that would be real shitty if you met it in a whole pack of them.
Well, I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, but then we went on, like, I went on to have nightmares about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Like, I dreamed that they were hugely tall, like 30 feet tall.
You don't need to scare the tea bags.
Well, yes, I do. I'm going to scare you now. So I had a bad dream. I woke up and I went to look out the window because the light coming through the window was very bright orange. And so I opened the window. It's apocalypse skies, y'all.
Yeah.
It was just bubbly and gross looking and fiery. And those things were just loping through the streets.
That's so scary. You're scaring everyone.
And I remember just in the dream, I pulled the curtains closed really tight and I was just I was like, oh God, they'll see me.
Oh, I'm glad I've never had dreams like that.
Yeah.
Never.
I know you haven't. Fuck off.
Yeah.
So that's my experience with the stickmen. And
well, we're going to watch Bambi after this, or Shrek, or something. Just something nice.
We're going to talk about the stick Indians now.
Oh, we're scaring everybody more.
These things, well, yeah, kind of scary.
Okay, we're scaring everybody. I'm sorry.
I just like to include, like, cryptids from other cultures, and these are indigenous Americans.
I thought we were done.
So, no, depending on who you ask, stick Indians either resemble your average Native American or kind of Bigfoot's shorter and more fashionable cousin. Like, they'll either be like tiny little fuzzy mans.
Okay.
Or very skinny humanoids.
Okay.
Or like just your regular indigenous person.
So they just an indigenous person?
Well, they don't behave right.
Oh.
They don't behave right.
Okay, it sounded almost kind of right. Like you see a stereotypical Indian sometimes.
The Nez Perce call them the little people.
Okay.
These forest-dwelling pranksters got their name from their love of all things stick. And their questionable hobby of poking sleeping villagers with sticks. And when they're not doing that, they're stealing fish.
It's rude. These guys are rude.
Men's clothes only, never women's clothes. And they also steal children and women, especially women.
It's very rude, yeah.
Get out of here. But I think that's really interesting. These sound like fairies.
Yeah, they just sound like fairies. Because fairies can mimic people. Like they look like people, can't they?
Yes, yeah, they can mimic people. From a distance. But when you get up close, you'll see that they're all fucked up.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically the legends about them really concern never crossing them or making them angry. Which is, again, fairy
Very
lore.
fairy, yeah, that's fairy
Yeah,
lore.
the good neighbors. You don't call them the good neighbors because they're good neighbors.
They're not State Farm.
No, you don't call them that because it's little old Betty Ann who lives next door and will give you some sweet tea and cookies. You call them that so they're not mad.
Yep.
They're the worst neighbors.
Yep.
It's like, oh yeah, that's my neighbor, Flip, who eats everyone who goes to his house.
Yeah.
He's my favorite neighbor, obviously. So yeah, they manipulate people's minds, making you feel scared. And like if you're in the woods hunting, for example, you'll get confused and turned around and lost, and then you'll die.
Oh, dicks.
Yeah, no children should ever be allowed to wander alone in the forest because they take them and eat them.
Yeah.
Or keep them as slaves. So the next time you're like exploring the forest of the Northwest, watch out for them. You know what I'm saying?
Don't explore that forest.
So they also don't have like human voices.
They sound weird?
They sound like birds or insects.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fairies.
But like their big thing is, and this comes with some people reported they're drawn to bright colors. So if you're in the woods hiking in bright colors, they'll come fuck with you.
Yeah.
They are known to throw rocks, like little rocks, pebbles, acorns. When you're asleep, they will, when I say poke you with a stick, that's not quite what I mean.
They'll jab you.
They will jab the living fuck out of you with a stick.
Yeah.
Like they've killed people with their sticks.
Dang.
And I don't know, this is one of those things, I don't know if it's just Native American folklore, which I find very interesting, or if it's actual sightings of weird shit kind of all together. I think it's that.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's just fairies, man.
So, do you think that the stick man's on the scale?
Well, since I called him a cryptid, I do have to put the stick man on the fuckability scale.
Right.
And we're going to come in at a good
this
0.
Is important science.
0.
Wow.
Absolutely not.
He is not batting good.
Well, I saw that one of them things naked. Okay,
yeah,
weren't
true.
wearing pants. It didn't have a dick.
Like, how would he wear his pants? Do you think? Do you like normal?
No, he doesn't really have a butt.
Yeah, he would need butt implants to wear the pants.
A Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah,
but that needs a butt to lift.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, he is a 0 on the fuckability scale. Number 1, no genitals.
Right.
And you could say, what that mouth do? Ain't got one.
No.
And them weird little cockroach-looking fingers ain't going anywhere near my kitty bits.
No. Okay. Well, I just want to root for the cryptids. I want somebody to like.
Mothman's a solid 7.
I thought he was a 10.
No.
He's got cake.
Doesn't really have a head.
He's got cake.
Head.
I've seen his statue.
He do got cake.
Uh-huh.
And a tramp stamp, so you know he nasty.
Yeah.
But I don't even want to say he. I'm not going to assume Mothman's gender.
Right.
I don't fucking know.
We are like snowflakes here.
Could have a squid down his pants. He's not wearing pants. We don't know. It's fuzzy. I don't know. Here's where my hang up is.
Okay.
With Mothman is that I don't know if it's like moth fuzz or like Bigfoot style fur. If it's moth fuzz, we's a 7.
Moth fuzz. It's scales. Yeah.
Well, it's soft.
Yeah.
It's not stem key.
No.
Bigfoot stinky.
Yeah.
Mothman really hasn't been described as smelly.
No.
So that's why he's so high up and he's mysterious.
Right.
And I think he's kind of sad.
Yeah, probably.
I want to bring him in and feed him soup.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There are only 2 genders to me when men are concerned. Is I want to feed him soup or I want to drown him in a vat of piss. Like those are the 2 types of men. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I know I'm soup.
Your soup. Oh, I did feed you soup tonight, as a matter of fact.
It was good. It was broccoli cheese.
You liked it.
Yeah.
I made you a grilled cheese sandwich with bacon on it, too.
It's yummy.
Because I'm a great wife.
Yeah.
Indeed. Anyway, I've gone off the rails. Not a surprise.
It's
I'd
fine.
fuck Mothman, but like
not
I can't.
Stickman.
No, and All Colors Sam is kind of interesting, but too terrifying to bang, although he might have gadgets, which...
You like a gadget.
I do like a good gadget. The Van Meter Visitor, I think I put it at 2. And it was only because he had man legs.
Yeah, like, I thought that he had a lot going for him.
It was the smelling like rotten eggs and burning people to death with his horn.
I love the man legs, pterodactyl body. There is nothing sexier. That is peak performance.
Holy fucking shit, who are you? I want a divorce.
It's the best cryptid there ever was.
I don't think so. Hey, you know what is the best?
Us?
Business time. Oh, we're definitely not the best at anything, or else we wouldn't be in the type of situations we're always in.
Yeah.
just to be fair.
Yeah.
We're dumbasses.
Yeah.
Anyway, come talk to our dumbasses in Discord.
Discord dumbasses.
Yeah, we hang out there. And by we, I mean mostly me.
I'm not good at it.
You're scared.
Yeah.
But he's in there sometimes.
I'm lurking.
He is lurking. And if you summoned him with like an @Merris, he would arrive.
Probably, if I know what that is, but I'll try.
That's where it notifies you
Yeah.
that you're being spoken at.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm trying to teach you guys how to get him.
Help.
You know, we don't help him.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't need help that way. But yeah, come in our Discord. Don't be scared. And if you don't know how to use it, make a kid show you. That's what I did. It's really not hard. Don't be intimidated. You can find the link to it in our link tree. Never expires. Just click on it and follow the directions. That's all you got to do, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what else you should do? Join a fucking Patreon.
Do it. Dude, that's even better.
It is better.
Yeah.
Because I am restructuring. It's going to be including video, like, super soon. Like,
We're
probably by the
trying.
end of the month. I'm learning Adobe Premiere Pro. I've bought stuff. I've taken classes.
It hurts.
It does hurt. It hurts us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but we're going to do, like, and that's the tea with some video. We'll probably record every Merris Monday. I'm working on all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah.
I know Willow's episodes this coming week.
Uh-huh.
And so I don't know what she's doing.
Oh,
But usually her Patreon episodes are very interesting.
yeah, we have lots of them.
Nearly 200. So
many. It is worth the Patreon.
there's just a bajillion hours of content over there.
You'll get bored of us.
No, you won't.
I mean, never mind. Just buy it.
I know there's some people that are literally all caught up with not only our original episodes, but the Patreon episodes too.
What the hell's wrong with them?
I think they're amazing, and they're precious angel babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So come be a part of the Precious Angel Baby Club. Yeah.
Yeah.
Join our Patreon.
Please,
Hey,
yeah.
did you enjoy this episode? You want
Yeah,
to
you
make
did.
Lillian and Merris's day? You want to buy us some cheeseburgers from McDonald's?
Yeah, you do.
It cost me and Merris $8.21 to eat lunch at the McDonald's. So if you want to send us...
Oh, you know it down to the penny.
Yeah, I do. Fuck you. If you want to... Look, their app is good for savings, okay? It's a very cheap lunch for 2 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to
They
buy
should
us McDonald's...
sponsor us. Ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Beat up, but what?
Yeah.
Go ahead and send us, $8.50 on coffee and know that it will be a cheeseburger
I'll
in my
eat
mouth.
it.
I will eat the shit out of it. What else? Hey, me and Merris, before we started doing podcasts, we're writers.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
We write romancy stuff, fantasy stuff like elves.
Crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff, speculative fiction, horror.
A lot of it's free.
Right now, all of it's free.
Oh my God.
But you do have to do something to get all of these books for free. And we have like 12. I don't know. We have a whole lot.
A whole lot.
And to get them for free. And I got spicy books too, ladies. And I know we're all into that right now.
Gentlemen's and gentle thems.
Hey, yeah. Ladies, and fellas. And everything in between and on the side. I got something for you. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so join our Discord for our writing. The link for that will be in the description, not in the link tree. And you can read our stuff for free.
Do it.
Yeah.
And
you
then
talk to me
write
there
a good
too.
comment about it.
Well, they don't have to, but
Yeah,
it'd
they
surely
should.
be nice. It would surely be nice.
Just nice stuff. Only nice stuff.
Oh, yeah, only nice stuff.
No
why
mean
would you,
stuff.
Why would you come be my friend and then be mean?
Yeah, why would you read a free book and then bitch about it? What the
I
hell's wrong
want
with
you to Google sad baby hamster and know when you hurting me, that's who you hurting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. But if all you can do or want to do to support this podcast is listen, you know what? Thank you. I do it for you.
Yeah.
And if you're on YouTube, because some of you are, inexplicably,
Shout out to you.
hi, go ahead and hit all the things that every YouTube fucking video tells you to hit. Like and subscribe and comment and the bell and all the crap.
All of it. I don't.
So you know when I come out with things.
Yeah.
Because we will be doing video on this shit soon.
I'm gonna try.
We're going to try
You
so
can
hard.
see our head.
You will be able to see my head and at least part of my chest area.
Not mine.
But
I'm
I
not
wasn't
showing
talking about my titties.
Oh, I thought you were.
I was talking about just the view of the camera, like from
Oh, I thought you were
mid-chest
talking
up.
about your titties. I don't
Why
have
would
any.
I show all of YouTube in America my boobies?
You might get more viewers.
Ooh, well, if you want to see my tits, I mean, honestly, You pay me enough on coffee and I will send you a booby picture. I don't care.
Send me a cheeseburger. I'll show you my titties.
You don't have no titties, literally.
Send me a cheeseburger anyway.
We yeeted the teat on you.
Give me a cheeseburger anyway.
I'm going to end this nonsense right now. Goodbye.
Bye.
Us on your social media platform of choice. Linktree/cruelty has all of the links. Check out our Patreon for exclusive episodes, merch, ad-free episodes, live ghost hunts, and much more. Please be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded weekly. Thank you so much. See you next time. Music and production by Libby.